everybody. It is 1 o'clock on Friday afternoon, April the 17th, 2020. I have none of my trifecta boys here. Andy, Logan, come on in anytime that you like. It is 1 o'clock, right? Yeah. So, anytime you guys want to pop in, for those of you that are out there watching, thank you very much for coming on board. I'd like to say hello to Connie, Mike, Carol, hello, all of you. Great to see you. I did a little bit of work. Hello there, Mother dear. How are you? Did a little bit of work over the past couple of days with videos, and I believe that what I'm going to do is because it's hard in the quarantine to take care of yourself and eat properly. And one of the things that I want to do is, hey, Big Mikey, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man. Hope things are well up there in the Red River Valley. Yep, this is the Aquarium of the Pacific Shark Tank. And hi, Sherry Smoltz. How are you? Glad to see you this afternoon. Let's see. I don't know what other. Yeah, I'm having a little bit of a problem with my camera. It won't pop up for me, so I can't put a new background on there. But I like to put on different backgrounds typically. Today, I don't have one. There's Andy Fisher. Oh, he's outside. Is it warm out, Andy?
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Well, I'm happy to see you outside. I haven't been outside well, I did go out on Wednesday. Oh my gosh, and you know what? Now you probably didn't get to see the new intro for our Friday show.
I missed it. Yeah, it's set
I'll
up.
play it for you now because three of these people that are watching now haven't seen it either.
Sure. Hey, that's pretty fancy.
You didn't even watch it. I can see. I can see you. You can't see me in the little green room, but I can see you, and you're like looking around. You weren't even watching it.
I was watching.
Okay.
I got
so
peripheral vision.
Now I know that you have. I know that you have. Oh yeah, it's the internet, Sherry. Sometimes when there's all sorts of stuff going on, it's really hard to keep a feed. But I'm glad you watched for as long as you did. That was nice. I had a good conversation with Bill Blank yesterday. He's a good guy. Today I have Andy Fisher, and look how Andy always does that with his name with the letters. It's so classy. Anyway, I've been doing, and for those of you that don't know Andy, Andy's got a degree in film. Yes,
Screenwriting.
But
I did do a lot of production. I was going after production first when I was in film school, and then switched to screenwriting because of the guy I ended up getting, who was the chair of the department I was in, talked me into it, and it was it's a good idea. You know, I have a lot of production experience, or some, I guess, but really liked the writing approach, and I think that's, it comes to filmmaking, that's the most important aspect of it all, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, absolutely. Your experience sounds very similar to mine, which was, well, it wasn't screenwriting or film, but it was in Spanish. I love Spanish. I used to piss my old man off, and my mom can attest to this, when I was watching. I'd go home from college because I took Spanish in college, and I would go home and watch Univision. And it would piss my dad off. He's like, what are you watching that shit for? I can't even understand it. I'm like, but I can.
Yeah.
Anyway, the professor that I had in college for Spanish had talked me into going over to Spain for a year. Not affiliated with the college. Just go over there and you'll really learn the language, and you'll really, and
full immersion, right?
Yeah. And and actually my dad was good because he there's Mike Fink. Yes, make sure, folks, if you're watching, hop on and info@peakmn.com. You want to do your Shave down, shave down, get down. Hi, puppies. 2 puppies. Shave down, get down. Post quarantine hair Olympics that Mike is sponsoring with Peak Entertainment. Comedy's coming next. You're right. We're getting close, Mike. I think. But don't shave your puppies. Anyway, long story short, the professor that was going to help me get over to Spain and get it all figured out ended up going down to Nicaragua during the time of the Sandinistas. So, yeah, my trip to Spain never happened. Anyway, so I have been working over the past few days. I mentioned before you came on that I don't know how you're eating during the quarantine, during the stay at home. It's hard. It's very hard for me. But I've made do. I've come up with some different concoctions and different techniques to cook things. And I thought, what better time for me to start to try to become like a famous celebrity chef?
There you go.
And to that end,
10 kinds of ramen with John Russell.
They don't spoil it. I have come up with an ideal intro to my show, and folks, if you'd like to vote on it, please do that because you're only going to have one choice. Oh, here comes Big Daddy.
Hey, sorry.
Logan Neilsen, he's got fish today too, and I love that. Or those?
Oh, you also went fish.
Jellyfish.
Right on.
I have fish only because I can't get my camera to switch right now. So this is what was on from yesterday. But Logan.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I want to play the video that I came up with for my new cooking show, which I don't believe is going to be associated with this show. I'm going to obviously probably have to pre-record it. But here you're going to love this. I think that's an ideal opening for a cooking show.
I mean, that picture of you after anything is a good intro.
and
it really doesn't matter what you play first. If it ends with that that Evel Knievel picture.
And hold on, because I do have the chef hat.
Oh, there you go.
And I'm raring to go. So this is going to happen.
Okay.
I refuse to leave the house. As many of you noticed, my son has very healthy. It's going to be great. And my son, as many of you noticed, has helped me with shopping. And he brought me a 50-pack of instant oatmeal and a 30-pack of cup of ramen on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's all you need.
I know I won't have to leave my house. And so, but of course there are other things to cook other than instant oatmeal and ramen. But you have to be able to really be versatile in the kitchen in order for yourself to in this time maintain a healthy weight, which I'm well above at this point. And this doesn't help. We've talked about this, I think. I don't know how you guys are doing eating wise, but I just can't, like anything that's bad for me, I just can't get it. Because it's gone, like.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
No, it's not a good thing. No. It's like it's like a lion eating, like gorging itself on all of this stuff, and then because I don't want to leave the house, then going, I guess I'll just have to live off the fat of the land. Anyway, so how's the week been going for you guys?
Going.
It's been good, all right. Eating garbage.
Yeah, baby.
And drinking booze like that.
Carol loves your pup. and that's the
So
only
where'd the
reason. I
second
brought
one
it.
go?
That's the only reason I got her
double-fisted
out.
Dogs there.
They came near enough for me to snatch them, so I picked them up.
See, Andy. Now, I know this from research
Do you
we've
have a
done.
lavalier mic, or is that just the design on your T-shirt?
Design on T-shirt.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going with computer speakers.
Oh, okay, it's
and,
Atari. Okay,
yeah.
the T looked like you had a lav mic like taped to your shirt, and I was like, how did he?
Why?
That's what I thought. I'm like, why?
I was going to say that
Atari.
the only reason that Andy brought his dog on camera is because after some extensive research that we've done after the show, people generally rate the cuteness factor. Number one, Logan, because he got a cute beard. Number two, me, because I'm a cute chubby guy. And then Andy's usually bringing up the rear. He's cute, but he doesn't hop up with the other of us.
The mustache episode was the outlier. That's just bringing my average down.
We had a lot of downvotes for that mustache. But bringing the dog in makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna win this week.
It's a cute dog.
Oh yeah.
And it seems to be very docile, which is even better.
Now, if you start trying to bring a dog on stage with you to make yourself more likable, I'm gonna have a conversation. I'm gonna have to really sit you down and talk to you about what new direction.
It'll just be
in.
peeking out of a purse. That's all.
Speaking of winning, who won the candy jar?
Oh, that's right. That was Kelly Babcock who won. And let me see. Did I get rid of? Yeah, I think I already got rid of. I had Mom do a little thing. It was 205 Tootsie Rolls.
205? I was so close.
I know.
Yeah,
you
but
guys
you went over.
just over.
But I was 212 though. I'm just happy that I was that close.
You were very close. Your estimation skills were right on.
Did Kelly get it on the money, or was she?
No. Kelly was the closest one that was under, and her guess was 188.
Oh wow! So
I was even closer.
There was
you
a
were closer than her,
lot
but
of
you went over, and it's Price is Right
I'm
rules.
just saying. I know. I understand. And I respect the rules of the game. I'm just saying I was even closer.
I know. Well, you were. I would. Let's see. What do we got here? Now, Sherry prefers mustaches to dogs, and that's all right. So there's a vote for Andy's creepy mustache.
Grow it back.
What's coming?
I would be more than willing to try to get my mom to do a guessing game for us.
To grow a mustache?
Grow a mustache.
Oh.
How many hairs in my mustache? And then count it. Because she has time to do that. You know, she's semi-retired now.
Oh, yeah. Anytime she wants to submit a jar game, that ruled.
Did you hear that, Mom? The jar game was highly enjoyed by all.
Yeah, it was probably the best thing we've done on this entire Friday series here.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's have a jar guessing game from your sweet old mama.
Mm-hmm.
That we had nothing to do with.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any
difference.
difference.
Your family tradition.
Now, I will tell you this.
Has not been us.
Yeah. Well, you know, obviously the people that are watching that make comments, and I should put that up there too again. I have a Venmo and a PayPal on there, but I didn't. I'm going to take them off because thankfully my unemployment finally went through. So I don't need people to give me anything.
But John, you want people to give you stuff?
I did because I was literally. It was almost a month. It's been almost a month since I first applied. And the thing, I'm going to take that off. Let me edit it. You guys go ahead and talk amongst yourselves while I'm editing quick.
I'm sorry, I'm hearing you guys jitter and stuff, so I didn't know if I was losing signal.
You're getting jittery too on us. This is Bella.
I'm getting jittery? Okay.
She is not cooperating at the moment. Bella, look at the camera.
It might be my internet. Oh my god, that looks like a little lamb.
She's like 8 years old.
How old's that?
At least 8. We got her secondhand. So like my mother-in-law had my mother-in-law had a friend who had them. She was going on a trip to the Bahamas or something like that. So my mother-in-law watched them for her, and then after a couple of weeks, she got a phone call saying, "Hey, well, we we moved down here now, and we're not coming back, so the dogs are yours. Then my mother-in-law, who's from the Philippines originally, she went to the Philippines a few months later, or a year later, or whatever it was. I don't remember the timeline, but she goes to the Philippines, so we watched them for her, and it was like a day of
And then
having
she
them.
moved down there.
Well, no, she not quite.
She called and said, "Hey, I'm living down here too."
She didn't even get the chance. Yeah, no, we had them for like a day, and my daughter's like, "These are ours now." I'm not. She says, "I'm not giving them up." No way, And so now it's all these years later, and we still got them. But they eat like 2 pieces of kibble a week, so you don't even notice them.
Megan
Megan
Ross
is
says, "How's the
referencing
McChicken these days?"
She's referencing a show that I was on where I had a runner about. It was a live game show about Instagram, and I just I had a McChicken runner going because I just like to, in a situation like that, I like to play one joke as long as it's funny for me.
Gotcha.
Luckily, Megan was on my side on that one.
Perfect. There we go. Another jar game is in the works.
There we go.
Heck yeah.
She could, Mom, we could make a ton of money doing this. There are so many people that are streaming that are boring as hell, and if you did jar games and made a bunch of different ones, and then did the here's how many are in this, and
do it raffle style where it's like it's a buck to play or something.
We could totally kill
you
it.
Split the winnings, like you keep half, winner gets half.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Here's now Mike
Holmes
asks,
really wants a Nixon joke. What
So
does that mean?
Here's the thing. So, Mike, I don't know, gosh, there was way back when I first started, I used to tell a joke about doing jokes at the assisted living center. And and I had a thing about, it was, it wasn't much fun, but I killed with the Eisenhower jokes. And so Mike's always been asking me, "Hey, tell an Eisenhower joke. Tell an Eisenhower." Now he thinks he's switching up the Nixon, so I have more Nixon jokes. But here's the thing,
I suppose it's now Nixon people are in the senior homes than Eisenhower people anymore.
Good God, I mean, who knows? Who knows? But here's the thing, I heard a great Eisenhower joke, and I used to use this, but I've had to update it a little bit.
Oh, buckle up, young audience!
Are you ready for this? It'll be relevant. So. Why?
I don't know how.
Well, believe me, it will be. So why does Donald Trump not want to be buried between Roosevelt and Eisenhower's tomb?
Why?
Because he's not dead yet.
Oh, gotcha.
Did you just squeeze the dog to make it bark?
No, it hated your joke.
It should have hated my joke. It was terrible. It was awful.
Still protest.
That's one of those jokes that you can literally. That's one of those jokes you can literally change any of the names and it's the same joke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
why does Ed Sheeran not want to be buried between Elvis Presley and Freddie Mercury? Because he's not dead yet. Like you could really make it literally.
Hey, come on. You were 5 at Eisenhower or Nixon, Sherry? Obviously, you didn't vote for him.
I'm guessing Nixon, but
dude, it's funny because I was talking with somebody about this the other day. I was born when Kennedy was president, and Kennedy was president after Eisenhower. So
that was a brief 3 years that he was president.
I know. Well, I was one of the lucky ones that fit in there.
Yeah,
you got to be born sometime.
I was born the last year of Reagan's. So
okay. Do you remember the first time you guys voted?
Yeah.
What year?
Well, I remember the first time I could have voted, but I didn't.
Ah, you dick.
I was 18. I was going to the U of M. There was one polling station for the 30,000 plus kids who lived on campus, and it was like a 5-hour line to wait to vote. And so I got there. I waited like 20 minutes till we got like toward the door, and then saw that the line went around a whole room a bunch, went into another room a whole bunch, came back out of that room a bunch, went into another room where the voting was, and I asked people how long they'd been there. They said, since about noon, and it was like 5 o'clock in the evening. And I said, okay, I'm not doing this, and I left. So I learned my lesson. I will always vote after that, though. That was 2002.
Oh yeah. My first time was the next election after that was the Obama-McCain election, and I also didn't get to vote because, and I should have sent out for it earlier, but I was living in Chicago at the time, going to college, but I was registered to vote in Iowa. My absentee ballot never came.
Oh, really?
Like me and my ex like submitted for absentee ballots, and they never showed up. And then we were just like, whatever. I mean, the guy we were going to vote for won, so I didn't feel like I hurt anything. But I voted. Now I especially living in Chicago the last couple elections, my polling place was like right next to my apartment, so I do it right away in the morning. So I didn't have to wait in any line. Like I was willing. I'm like I will be willing to. I'm okay getting up at 6 a.m. to not stand in a line. Like that is a trade-off.
That's what I've been doing forever now. Is as soon as I get up, that's the first stop, because they're ripe and ready to go. There's nobody there in line. You see a bunch of old people. That's it. That's the only people who are out trying to vote at that hour. It's 7 a.m. Yeah.
And I voted for the midterm elections. When you vote at those are in and out. Nobody cares.
Or even better, primaries. Primaries. There's like 2 people running the place, and it's a ghost yard. You won't see anybody else.
So Logan, in Chicago, how many times did you get to vote? I mean, like per election, how many times do they allow you in Chicago? Like 3, 4? Per election, do you get to vote 3 or 4 times in Chicago? That's a tradition, right?
I have fake IDs, so I go out the door and just come back in. I
didn't think you needed a fake ID. I just thought you got to go do it. Harvey Truman was president when you were born, Carol. Well, was that before Eisenhower?
Yeah.
Maybe? Yeah.
Well, Truman took over in World War II.
That's right. Truman dropped.
He was after FDR.
He dropped the Hiroshima. Yeah. So gosh, Carol, you. Thank you. No, I just like to know.
Thank you. Well, thank you for your service.
Thank you for your.
What are you thanking her for?
Did I ever tell you that?
She doesn't mean she was born in World War II. Truman had 8 years.
This is kind of a funny thing. My brother-in-law. Shut up. Shut up. My brother-in-law, who passed away, unfortunately, and was a good guy. Louis Hazelwood was in the Air Force for 10 years, and he was in after Vietnam, but before Desert Storm. So he didn't see any action, and in fact, he was stationed, I believe, up here in many other places, but he was up here in Minneapolis, up at the airport for quite a while, and he used to wear just a little Air Force hat. And when the "Thank you for your service" started coming into vogue, he'd be out wearing his hat. And he'd go in to pay for his gas, and this guy paid for you. It's like, do I look old enough that I saw any action? But he's just like, I'll take it, Oh yeah, thank you for your. This guy paid for your gas and said thank you for your service, and I'm like, I need to get a shirt that says thank me for my service. I need free gas.
That's pretty needy if you have that.
There's Dusty. He was born with Nixon. Voted for Clinton first in '92. That makes sense.
Okay.
I was the first president I voted for was 1980, and I actually voted for Carter in '80, and he got trounced.
Because that was Carter v. Reagan, right?
Yeah. And but I also remember going with my mother to the polling place, and I had talked my mother into voting for a nut job that was on the ballot.
No, he was a peanut farmer. He was a peanut farmer.
No. This was for a little local thing, for the city council or something. And I talked my mother into voting for Kalanji Sadiq, who was he was a radical of the highest extreme, and
what was he running for locally?
Like city council or something.
Okay.
and so voted for him, and then I wrote my own name in for sheriff.
You
So
wrote your own name in for sheriff?
wrote my own name in for sheriff because I didn't have a campaign manager at the time. Thank you for my services shirt in the online shop. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Megan. It's you know what? It's a good idea. Thank me for my service. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah, you could be that comic that goes the other way. Instead, you end your shows with hey, give it up for me. Give it up for me.
Yeah, D'Angelo. Yeah, I did. It's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Well, they're happening in Ohio and in
all
Michigan.
all over the
Yeah.
place. Minnesota's got a bunch of them, and I saw a picture where it's like some of them have masks on and some of them don't. It's like, if you're
Yeah.
gonna protest, why the hell you got a mask on? Chicken shit.
I don't. I saw some interview with some of the ones in Michigan that are protesting in Lansing,
God.
and someone straight up asked him. They said, "Hey, are you worried that this is gonna maybe spread it?" And the guy goes, "I mean, yeah, probably a little bit, but it's not as crazy as people are making. The media and like just had
Oh,
no
for
real
God's
sense
sake.
then with."
Yeah.
And then someone else they interviewed had a mask on. And he goes, "So I noticed you're wearing a mask. Do you have concerns about the virus?" And the guy goes, "Well, yeah, I've concerns. I'm wearing this, out of common courtesy to other people." It's like, well, then don't have a gathering if you're trying to do common courtesy to other people.
That's the part I can't get over, is just the sheer arrogance of these people. They're like, right, like, screw the worldwide consensus of thousands of experts that have been studying and researching infectious disease their entire lives. I Googled this shit for an afternoon. I got this. Like,
Well, it's like every single one of them said, "Well, I did my own research." So,
Yeah.
I've been one guy literally
I
said,
watched some InfoWars videos. I know
one
what's
guy
really
literally
going
said,
on.
he's like, I've been Google, I've been on YouTube a lot, and like I know, what's happening. I can't trust the media. I can trust YouTube. And I guess my thing is too, not to sound too, I don't know, dire or defeatist or something, but like the people who are like, no, but I'm right about stuff. It's like we already lost.
Yeah.
The fact that this happened, the fact that there's been a global pandemic,
Yeah, there's no win.
That the entire world had to stop, we already lost. Now we're just trying to come out of this as unscathed as possible. There is no, I told you.
Yeah.
There is none. We are, because people are just like, well, the numbers aren't that bad. Doesn't matter. People are dying, and this this virus spread incredibly fast. That's already a loss. Are the numbers as high as other stuff? No. Let's keep it that way.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you, I'm just more impressed that I know so many experts on shit that I didn't know they were experts on.
Right. Yeah.
Like I know so many people that know so much about infectious diseases. It's amazing.
Well, there are people. My girlfriend's an ER nurse, or she's an OR nurse. She's working at the ICU right now.
Yeah.
And people are arguing with her on Facebook about, like, oh, it's not as bad as they say it is. And she's like, hey, well, here's what we're preparing for. Well, you don't got to do that. And I'm like, no matter what, even if it's like, yeah, it doesn't get bad, don't you want the medical professionals planning for the worst?
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I hope it doesn't come to it. I want them. I sure as shit want them prepped for it.
There's D'Angelo's wondering, will the National Guard get deployed? I don't know. I mean,
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
A lot of these protests, it really is like,
They're
not trying to draw lines politically, but it's just a small group of serious dumb shits, and that's it. Like, even people who think that the government's response is over the top, even people who don't believe the numbers or buy into conspiracy stuff, the majority of them seem like they still have the sense to go, I'll stay at home and voice my opinion remotely. They're not gonna go do this kind of crap, and I don't see these people even getting to the point where they're violent or anything like that.
Yeah.
Nothing we've seen so far, and anything that I think will come would warrant the National Guard.
Although they have the power
National
to if
Guard,
they want to.
Yeah, but I think if the National Guard gets deployed, they're not going to bring any weapons. They're just going to walk around with bare hands coughing.
Yeah.
I think that's all. They just have to walk around. That's all they have to do.
Megan wants to know about the Tyson Fuster Cluck. Oh, yeah, that's a good play on words there because that's at a chicken factory. Yeah, and you know what?
Yeah.
In Smithfield over in Sioux Falls has half the cases in South Dakota at one plant. I just saw there are at least 5 food processing plants that are closed in the country right now, which is, you think about it, it's very scary because...
Is Tyson... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I'll say, was that the one... Are they in Nebraska?
I don't know which one it's at.
There's one I just heard about that was like, because my girlfriend knows someone's down there. That Omaha's not bad, but they're having to take overflow from a nearby town because the food processing plant, like 80 people got sick, and that town can't handle it.
Yeah.
So Omaha doesn't really have anything yet, but they're having to take people from that one town because that town got slammed.
And here's an interesting thing about it. Out of those 5 plants that are closed, 2 of them are in Iowa. One of them is in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, that don't have stay-at-home orders. Mm-hmm. Now, the governor of South Dakota says, "Oh, well, they would have been essential workers anyway." Well, that's fine and well and good, but if you had a stay-at-home order, maybe everybody else, maybe some of those people wouldn't have got it. Maybe it wouldn't have been as bad.
Yeah, or whoever was the patient 0 for that outbreak.
Yeah,
right. Wouldn't have had it. Wouldn't have picked it up at the gas station or wherever the hell.
It's tough,
like my thing, like.
Hard to tell. Yeah, that's all.
Well, and like I mentioned last week too, how like we don't have the stay-in orders here in Iowa, which the problem is then it makes people, like I said, like people from Minnesota then are coming down to do stuff.
Yeah,
because we're not closed. So it's not even so much that like, it's like it would have also closed off the possibility of other people bringing it in. And not saying that Minnesota has it and we don't. We've passed you in numbers. So Iowa's we're on it. But that's part of it. That startled me.
The dog doesn't like Iowa being ahead.
Well, I know.
Ever since the Hawkeyes beat the Gophers.
There you go. Here's another one from Carol in Indiana.
That's funny.
In India, Corona and Co. I love that. I wish I'd have thought of it first. But I don't have any kids, and I won't have any kids anymore. Here's another one from Sherry. Do you guys ever get down to Goonies Club Comedy Club in Rochester? Never.
Literally, yeah. These days, never. Not
honestly, never. No, Sherry. I ran the open mic there for a long, long time until I got a day job. Andy Fisher took over running the open mic for me, and Logan Neilsen. On all 3 of us perform there on the weekends. On a pretty regular basis. So probably you just haven't been there when we've been there.
Yeah.
Dusty wants to know, how many dogs do you have? And will that affect his vote on whether you're the cutest or not?
I have 4 right now. I seem to shuffle a few here and there. I had a dog that my dad has now that was my favorite, but my dad retired and needed the companionship and had him for a little while and then wanted to keep him around a little while longer, and that just turned into a long-term thing, and now it's his dog basically. But I have a big mountain cur / corgi, so he's a corgi, but he's like 80 pounds. Then we have the 2 little poodles, and then I got another dog that we're fostering right now that's a yellow lab. She lived a bunch of her life in a kennel without much activity, and we gave her the freedom and love of a good home. So,
oops, I'm just typing to Logan because as you can see, he's not on screen.
Yeah,
and
we lost him.
Letting me know, hey. There we go. Come on back when you can, Logan, old boy. There we go.
Ooh, that was strong.
Yes. And Carol says, "Good for you, Carol. Carol likes animals.
Good, I do too.
From talking to
Mostly
her.
dogs.
I think most people do. But yeah, it's just interesting to me. In all of this, I can't. The thing that I don't understand is most of the people that are having a problem with everything seem to be people that are relatively okay. You know what I mean? Like financially okay, socially okay.
Do you mean people who have a problem with the shutdown order? The people who are protesting?
Yeah.
Okay.
The protesters all. I mean, I don't see anybody out there that's like homeless people are not protesting. Open this back up.
Yeah.
And so there's a disconnect because the people that are protesting are probably not the ones that are most susceptible to this.
Yeah. Or the most harmed financially or inconvenienced.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you're in a spot where you don't have anything anyway, and all you're getting from the government in help is $1,200, because here's a reality: if you didn't work last year at all, or if you were in the gig economy last year, and they're supposedly working on a way for people to get this, and it includes people that are full-time comedians. If you don't have that, if you didn't report income last year, there's a certain level that you have to meet before the states will even give you any unemployment. And so a couple of people that I worked with doing training, one was a housewife and did some corporate comedy shows. She doesn't have enough income to get paid any unemployment. And as far as the government goes, that's just it. And so I think those people that are complaining and saying, open it up, open it up, open it up, are not those people.
Yeah.
Those people don't know what the hell to do. Those are the people that are scared, and those are people that want to. Then you have the other segment that's like me, and I'm like right in the perfect target. If I catch it, I'll die.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I truly feel that, because I'm not in great shape. I got high blood pressure and diabetes, and they're both precluding things. So
Yeah.
I don't want to go out. I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
And if and that's the thing. It's like, I don't think anybody can say, all right, it's all opened up again. You can't do it,
Yeah.
because there's going to be a certain segment that are like, no way.
Well, it seems so much of the people that you see protesting, right? It's almost entirely for political reasons, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, absolutely.
they're not like, I'm struggling financially, I need my job back. They're just repeating what the partisan hardline stances are and freaking out about that. Like, I haven't heard anybody say, I need everything opened back up because I lost my job. It's no, I need everything opened back up because I lost my rights, which is kind of an absurdist take.
Yeah.
That does not put anything in context. It doesn't take into account the realities of the situation. It's fundamentally based on disregarding the science of what's going on.
Yeah.
And all of that just, to me, is mind-boggling, because, again, like I said earlier, it comes down to this kind of ridiculous arrogance in their own opinions, when you've got every expert has made it really clear what the deal is, what the timeline is, what the
and they have
realities
been
of
for
this
years,
are.
but we fired them all.
Yeah, wasn't that great? Like, and that's the other thing too that I can't get over, is this was a nonpartisan thing. It was Republican and Democrat presidents and administrations that built these response teams, that built these committees, that put this infrastructure in place to handle an event like this. And Trump came in with a sledgehammer and got rid of it all. And now we're, perfect time for it to happen, and for us to have to learn a hard lesson, and still that doesn't sway anybody to realize that this is not a partisan issue. This is not a political thing. It's just reality. And like Logan, like you were saying, we've already lost.
Yeah.
We've already completely, there's no win in this. It's just mitigating the damages.
I think what's making people freak out too is not so much just the panic, but it's also, I think they're having a hard time like realizing this is going to change the world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like the fact that we know now, because even if this doesn't blow up and doesn't have the numbers that some people are predicting, people are like, oh, it's going to just go away. Cool. But now we know
this could happen again.
A virus can hit the world, can infect the entire world in a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's just,
that's insane.
Yeah.
That's like the fact that we now know that this is a possibility. It's going to change how we do it. At least it should. It should change how we do things. And honestly,
I mean, it's a lot scarier if it was another version of it too. I saw a thing about MERS, which is another coronavirus variant, right? It killed 2/3 of the people that got it. But the thing is like they would show symptoms almost immediately. They couldn't transmit it when they were asymptomatic. It hosted in camels, right? So it stayed in a very specific region. It didn't move around a lot. But if a virus like that killed 2/3 of the people who got it suddenly became transmissible the way that this one is, then we've got real problems.
Yeah. Exactly. People are just like, well, this doesn't even kill as many people, a huge number get it. It's like, cool, the next one might.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
guess that's what I keep thinking about is, and that's why I was talking the other day and I was bummed. I'm just like, I know this isn't going to change anything. No one's going to learn anything from this. It's going to be the next one. And the
Yeah.
next one's going to devastate us. The next one is going to hurt the world even more. But we didn't take this one. This is a warning shot.
Yeah.
We are getting lucky that this isn't claiming the numbers that it could be claiming.
Yeah.
Like we should be, and honestly, and this is totally bipartisan too. If this doesn't convince people that the people in power don't give a shit about you, nothing will.
They
Nothing
don't at
will.
all.
Nothing will at all.
Sherry, Monday through Friday, and Friday is the trifecta with Andy, Logan, and I. We all three do it together. Yes, go back to work, be safe, have a good weekend. Thank you for looking in. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, be safe at work.
Well, yeah,
Absolutely.
no kidding.
Whatever you do, be very safe.
When you talk about the government not caring about you, here's an interesting little thing, and of course there are different aspects to modern life that we're all involved in. Yesterday and the day before, WWE, the World Wrestling Federation, fired or furloughed 400 people. Now they went
And
from
Vince
doing
McMahon's now on the
Vince
economic
McMahon.
task force.
So, this is a whole. I mean, if this doesn't blow up in somebody's face, it should. So
Hey, the XFL has gone bankrupt twice. Yeah.
Well,
let's put him in charge.
let's start.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
going down this trail. All right. So the
Good.
first thing that happens is, hello, Gretchen. Thank you for looking in. Happy to see you.
I got you.
The first thing is that all wrestling, right? Because they were doing it in live arenas,
Mhm.
and because there's no more gathering. Okay, so they started doing it in closed situations.
Mhm. I didn't watch
And-
it, but I heard WrestleMania was fucking absurd.
It was all. There was nobody there. There were no
'Cause John-
no audience at all.
But they did like a high concept story where John Cena was trapped in a time loop where he had to relive his old personas.
Yeah, it was actually pretty cool.
I know.
Really?
I did. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
didn't.
gotta start
didn't
watching
watch-
wrestling. Oh
I
my
know.
god.
It's like, I didn't watch it, but I had friends texting me like, "This sounds fucking amazing." Actually,
Oh
this
my
sounds
gosh.
outstanding.
I'll tell you.
It's the most high concept thing I've ever heard.
So here's the paper trail. So this happens, and where WWE and AEW, which is the second wrestling promotion, are
Yep.
recording is Florida. All right?
Mhm.
One's in Jacksonville, and the WWE are down in Orlando. Then, and for whatever reason, the governor's keeping Florida open. Then he says, "Okay, yeah, I guess I should close it." So WWE somehow convinces the governor to say that, well, professional wrestling is an essential business.
Essential.
Essential. And
It is
because
essential to my life, John, to see big sweaty fellas
it's
slapping
essential.
each other around.
It's follow the money, guys. And
Yeah.
and not like I'm, but so what happens is the county sheriff and the mayor of the town that their facility is says, no, the hell you are. You are not essential employees, and you're going to be shut down. So
Yes,
what their
certified
plan
big
was,
wet boys.
so what their plan was okay. Well, before they shut us down, we're going to just tape record a whole crap load of stuff. We're going to tape load as much as we possibly, or tape as much as we can, and so they have the WWE has huge contracts with USA Network and with Fox. But apparently those contracts are not for recorded shows, they're for live shows.
Live shows.
And so now there's a panic. There's a panic. Vince McMahon's wife, Linda, is involved, was a director, I believe, of the SBA, the Small Business Administration, and now is running a Trump super PAC.
America First Action Super PAC. She's the
And-
executive director.
And guess who, what PAC promised that they would give over $18 million to Florida.
No. It was more specific than that. They committed $18.5 million to run pro-Trump advertisements in Orlando and Tampa.
Yes.
And then the next day,
the governor says,
Essential
yeah,
business.
I guess wrestling is essential.
yeah,
And
it's
then,
unreal.
and
Shit's
then-
going on in plain sight.
yeah, and then, because wrestling is essential, McMahon fires or furloughs. Some of them are furloughed, but fires over 400 people that work for his company. They still have $500 million in liquid assets. Oh, and by the way, the XFL does declare bankruptcy. The people that were involved with that are still owed money. Vince McMahon.
I hope he tries to do that again. I really hope a third attempt. I hope a third attempt at the XFL is down the road, just so we can watch that shit fall on its face again.
He told everybody that the XFL and the WWE were going to be totally separate. Neither would have anything to do with the other. Well, it turns out the WWE owned 23% of the XFL. And so it just goes to show that, and then, yes, the cherry on top of the shit sundae is that Vincent Kennedy McMahon is now on the I'm a genius businessman. How do we get out of this committee for Trump?
Open America again.
It's a gigantic pile of bullshit.
If he's such a genius businessman, he should be able to make the $1,200 stimulus check last him a long time.
Absolutely. Well, and that's it.
He should be fine. Give him that.
That's it. The whole thing is, if anybody after all of this thinks that anybody that is running a business or a company, small business, yes, they're in the same boat as we are. Big corporations, they don't give a fuck about any of us.
Yeah.
They don't care about their employees. They don't care whether anybody other than them gets sick or dies. All they're concerned about is being able to show the people that invested, well, we're still profitable. And that's all it is. That's all it is.
I saw someone make it was just like a little meme or whatever, but it just drove a really good point home where it said, people who are living paycheck to paycheck, we're expected to have all this savings and stuff to live off of. Multi-billion-dollar corporations have, after 1 week of diminished business, file for bankruptcy.
Yeah.
And it's like, those are supposed to be, those can just go bankrupt. They can get bailed out. No, we don't deserve a bailout though. We're supposed to. Oh, you should have worked harder. You should have had more shit in order. And and again, and this, I'm not just saying just because of the administration, the party that they're affiliated with right now. I'm saying everybody. Like, no one really wants to help the people. No one gives a shit about us. And then, if you look at too, like all of the multi-millionaire televangelists, not a single one of them have donated any money to anything.
And they're all saying, send your stimulus check to us as your tithing.
Exactly.
Like, are you kidding?
Exactly.
Unreal.
I'm not here to shit talk, religion or anything like that, but those guys who want to prey on people.
Oh yeah, the Kenneth Copelands or whatever of the world, like the Joel Osteens and all that.
None of them have donated a single dollar to any relief. I mean, that was my favorite thing when the first things that got canceled were healing ceremonies. That was, I'm just like, well, if that doesn't tell you, the first thing canceled.
And I'll tell you, Kenneth Copeland, he's the guy, man. He's already closed this COVID stuff. He's already called it the devil
with the breath of God.
Exactly. He's already
I blow the wind of God.
He's already declared it over. He declared it over 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I saw something like
it over.
His net worth is like $700 million or something insane like that.
Yeah, I think he's the richest one, actually.
It's
unreal.
It's one thing to prey on people, and I know a lot of people are very dependent upon religion in times like this. Sometimes that dependency makes you a little bit naive.
I think the saddest part is the people who kind of get swept up in those guys are the most desperate a lot of times.
Yeah.
So they get,
the easiest to take advantage of.
Exactly. That's the bummer of it, is that they prey on people. And and that's not me saying all priests do that or all churches are on. There are amazing groups out there, and I'm not trying to say like, oh, if you're religious, you're a bad person. No, those guys are assholes. That specific group of super rich people who prey on people who are desperate for something to believe in, desperate for some help. Like, sorry, that's when you're a scumbag. That's when you're a shithead. And that's what I mean. It's just like this whole thing, if this hasn't, because there's so many billionaires and multimillionaires in this country, they could help so many people. No one is. No one is there, and there are some people who own restaurant stuff in New York are giving their whole salary to all their employees and stuff like that. Did you see the guy who directed Tiger King? It's kind of coming out. He's an asshole because he owns a couple different restaurants in New York, and he is giving them no help at all. And and they're just like they're like he's smoozing in Hollywood right now, and he's got millions of dollars because he's been a hotelier and restaurateur in New York for 20 years and just made this tiger documentary for fun.
I'm not surprised at all to find out that the people who made the series, where everyone in the series is a horrible piece of shit, also are pieces of shit. Like, anybody with any hard connection to that has got somehow
everyone too.
It's
like, Carol Baskin killed her husband. It's like, whatever, that's a whole separate thing. But they also showed the only thing more cringe than WWE without fans.
Honestly, I've been hearing the NFL is talking about doing a complete season in empty arenas, and I want to see it. Like, it eliminates home field advantage. It'll be the purest season of football we could possibly have.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want more than one, but I want one. I want one season like that, where there's no nonsense. It's just quiet football. You can hear them swearing at each other.
Quiet
I'll pay
football.
$10 a ticket at home to watch it. I don't care. I want it to happen. Like, I want to see it. It'd be wild.
I just hope before it starts, one of the refs just goes up to the camera and goes, COVID-19.
You know how Peyton used to always go, Omaha. I'd be like, COVID.
Yeah.
Right? You got linemen just coughing at other across the line, like.
And then they stand. Did you see that? Flag.
Personal foul. Open mouth cough.
Yeah. After every play, everyone's just got to slather themselves in Purell real quick.
15 yards remains first
that's
down.
The water boys run out with water bottles. They squirt it on guys. Just, all right. Yep. Thank you.
One of the things about that though that I did hear is they're talking about.
They gotta burn every football after they use it.
Every football player would get like one of the propositions or whatever. I don't know if it's ever going to come to fruition or what. But one of the things I read from the some of the meetings they were having about it was that they're talking about testing every single player every week.
Yep.
If they do that, and I'm like, that's insane that they would get those resources, because then you're talking, 16 at least tests per player. If they're gonna do preseason, if they're adding the postseason and all, or you have that all play out, it's 24 tests essentially for every player, and there's like 3,000 players in the league or something like that.
Yeah.
And when it seems like those resources could go to better use than NFL, like
definitely,
thousands of tests it would require, But we honestly, we should have been doing this like South Korea from the start, where South Korea allowed. I mean, the moment this thing opened up, they started going, hey, every little medical lab, every small independent vendor, everything. Like, they put all their resources. They made it a national charge to have everybody put in on the effort and develop tests and then build the infrastructure to be able to carry it out. And they contained it the best. And that's going to be the sign of which country or what place, handled this the best, is how quickly they recover. Watch how quickly South Korea will be back to business as usual because of how well they tested, so they knew the spread. They farmed out every bit of help they could get to every lab they had and every medical services company they had, and they contained it. Like, sure, they had the spike like everybody else, but they contained it really well. And that's what in America we fell all over ourselves failing to do, and that kind of inaction, the idea of going, we don't want to test so that we don't have high numbers so that we can claim it's low, that was just sheer insanity.
Yeah.
There's no excuse for it.
Well, all I can tell you is I got enough food for another couple of 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Don't have I'm going
to eat it all tonight.
No, I won't eat it all tonight. I've learned if I eat too much oatmeal, I spend too much time in a bathroom, and that's how I quarantine in a bathroom. Not at all.
I don't even want to talk about how I've been eating. It's been amazing. My wife's home all the time.
Yeah, I know.
Cooking all the time.
You've made it very clear that you're not cooking a goddamn thing.
I had a green curry with chicken and carrots and onions and ginger and garlic the other night.
Did you do it or did she do it?
That one I helped. I stirred the sauce. So I made it up.
Sauce.
Congratulations. You filled
Last night we had potato leek soup. Tonight we're having squished slider hamburgers with a nice big leafy green salad and all that good stuff.
Love the fact
Tomorrow
that
we're going to make a red curry.
I love the fact that he knows his menu for like 3 or 4 days in advance.
And he gets proud like he came up with it.
I suggest what I would enjoy eating, and then she
He's
cooks
such
it.
an asshole. Made the mistake of stepping on the scale. Yeah, I did that the other day too. That was
My scale ran out of a battery like the middle of March. It's perfect. Perfect timing. Serendipitous.
because I have a couple different live stream things like doing this, and then by the way, tomorrow night we're doing that show I mentioned last week where we're raising money for a young kid who has cancer that we were supposed to do in Joliet, but this happened, so we're doing a live stream Zoom party thing. So there's that's happening. So but I've been doing a lot more video chat stuff, and I'm just seeing the candy and whiskey hit my face. Like I'm just feeling my face.
I picked a terrible time to cut my beard off. Like, God.
I shaved in the first week for like a virtual open mic, and I'm like, I gotta grow this shit back. I'm seeing too much face. I'm seeing bonus chins. I don't need that. Yeah. So there was just 2 down there. Now I'm getting a couple.
I keep trying to find backgrounds that have fatter fish. Like, he looks pretty skinny compared to that thing. Oh my God, boys. Well,
dog and cat are facing off on the other side of the camera. All right, there we go.
Perfect.
Sorry, it was tense in here for a second. My dog and my
I'm
girlfriend's cat are still coming to an understanding. So that was the best they've done, I think, was that moment.
Oh my God.
By the way, I got to compliment the Hypnotoad. That's a nice touch.
Thank you.
Is that what he's doing?
Yeah, that's the Hypnotoad.
You never watched Futurama?
No. I mean, I did, but not enough to know what the hell that is.
Oh, okay.
It's a joke in the show.
Okay.
It's the most popular show on TV.
All hail Hypnotoad.
Really? Really?
When the Hypnotoad wins
the Pet Olympics, all glory to the Hypnotoad.
Thank you again for watching, Carol. We appreciate it very much. You stay well yourself. On Monday.
Carol's hopped in every week.
Every show.
Carol's on every day.
I thought so.
Carol's awesome.
That's great, Carol.
She's
That's
a
awesome.
nice lady from Kenosha, Wisconsin, from that area.
We should put together like a Goonies care package or like gift pack, some sort of something to send to her when this is all done.
Oh, when it's all done, yeah, I'll definitely do that. But I actually met her when I was over doing a show in Kenosha, and we talked a little bit. I was doing the show with Don Reese, and we had a nice conversation. Her mother was in a assisted living center at the time, and I told some jokes about my work doing that, and we just had a nice little conversation about everything she was dealing with, and she's been very kind and followed everything I've done. Well, most of what I've done, anyway. Didn't see me at the DUI, but that was a different. Because that was long before I met her, too. Long before I met her.
Wasn't at the hearing for some support. Yeah.
I thought he was like, yeah, you should put together a little Goonies package. I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? Give her some shit I got here? Like, I can send you a package of instant oatmeal and a cup of ramen.
There you go.
Slap some Goonies shit on there. Goonies logo. Oh my gosh, boys! Next week,
Goonies brand oatmeal.
Now, I've heard that Jackbox games are all the rage.
They're very fun.
I don't know what that is.
And so I have just purchased one on Steam, and I'm going to figure out how we can play that on here, and I think it's entirely doable. And if we can do that along with my mom's jar guessing game, I think we might have a fantastic pandemic party next week, even more fantastic than this week. But if not, whatever. I probably got tired or busy or something.
Yeah, I mean, I've played some. We've done it through Discord with some friends, and we've done it through Twitch and stuff like that. Yeah. So I know friends who are doing that regularly. So I don't know how to do it to StreamYard, but
they say I can do it. I'm gonna figure it out, and that'll be on the top of my list for next week. Hopefully, we'll have that done.
You can probably just do it. So this could be off air too, but you might be able to do it just through this, but instead of your camera, just do share screen.
Well, I can share a screen. You should
be able to bring it in as another screen.
I think it's
its own feed,
and then,
right?
And then
I think
Andy,
you do that with OBS, but
Yeah.
I haven't worked with StreamYard before,
Yeah.
so
I'll try to get StreamYard to work on my computer, or I can actually you can do Jackbox either on the computer, like to send in answers, or on the phone. Because all you need is go to the website, Andy, and then you can submit
So
answers and stuff.
the way that the reason I looked at it and the reason that it looked good to me was it said you can have up to 8 people
Yep.
like locally hooked up with you, but then you can have thousands or however many that are playing along too.
sure.
Mhm.
So
Oh yeah, when we
I'm-
played it, it was a friend in LA, a friend in New Orleans, friends in Chicago, and me here in Iowa, and we all
Yeah.
played a game together.
Yeah.
Is it like a trivia game? How's it work?
They've
It's
got a
like-
whole
it's-
bunch of different games.
They have
Oh,
some
okay.
trivia ones, but they're known for Quiplash, which is like joke ones, and you'd vote for which one's funniest,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
and you compete on that. There's a T-shirt one where you design T-shirts, and then you also submit slogans, and then someone gets them randomly, and you match them up
Sure.
to try to make the funniest T-shirt.
Yeah, riffing
There's a
on,
lot of-
on those joke ones sounds like it'd be fun.
Yeah, and the new
It gets ribbled quick. But
Yeah. the new
ribbled
but
or
the new-
ribald. How do people pronounce that?
ribald? I don't know.
I used to say
I never say that
ribald, but
word.
then I started hearing people say ribbled, and so I mix it up. I go back and forth between them.
Ribald sounds like something that happens at a massage parlor.
I know
Yeah,
they
and I
both
got
sound
ribbled.
wrong now. They both the ribbled
Yeah.
and now also ribald sounds wrong too.
I
They
know,
both
I
sound
don't
very
know.
wrong.
But
No
anyway,
doubt.
I know one of the reasons that I was looking at it was because apparently they have a cruise ship comedy deal where you do one-liners, but that's probably the same thing. It's probably just changed a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, guys. Next week, thanks again. I always enjoy being on with you guys. An hour goes by really, really quickly.
I know it flies by.
Oh, that was nice.
Ribald.
What's that?
Ribald.
That's how you pronounce it.
Oh, ribald.
Ribble.
What is? It's ribbled.
Ribald.
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 It sounds like it's saying ribald, but it's a weird.
Ribald.
My balls.
Ribald.
My balls.
I first thought it was saying I'm bald. That's what I thought it was saying. I'm like, what are you playing right now? I'm bald.
Take that off of there. Look, we're losing listeners by the minute.
Rightfully
Second me. Anyway, you guys, hey Dusty, thanks for looking in, buddy. We appreciate it very, very much.
Good to see you, Dusty.
So next week, I got a great lineup. I got Julie Bain on Monday. I got Michael Thorne on Tuesday. I got Karen Pickering on Wednesday. I have KJ the comedian on Thursday, and then we'll be back again on Friday. So
Nice.
those of you that are watching, thank you so much. I appreciate it very, very much. It means a lot that you will come and watch us. And if you see somebody else streaming out there, please stop, give them a look, give them a like, and let's all stay connected. You guys, thanks so much. We will see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.